Hello, hello. It's another wonderful evening, and tonight I'm doing a review on a figure I'm really excited about. I'm doing Titan's Return Overlord, as you can see. So, this review's going to look at Overlord himself. It's also going to compare him a little bit to Sky Shadow, who is his mold mate, just to kind of illustrate the differences, similarities between them. So, Overlord is a pretty faithful recreation of the original Japanese exclusive toy from the 80s. His vehicle modes are a tank and a jet. You can see there each one is pretty distinct from the other. They each kind of have their own little color scheme there, which is pretty neat. This is Overlord's little tech spec card that he comes with. That really cool artwork of him heading on Decepticon Overlord. Flip it around. There you go. There's his name, Dreadnaut. You can see their firepower rating combined maxes out at 20. Which kind of makes sense considering the arsenal that Overlord has at his disposal. So, pretty neat. His tank mode's very nice looking, but it is also very simple. The turret doesn't have any ability to rotate or anything. There are wheels on the bottom of the treads, though the treads themselves don't move. Got this cannon that forms the turret there, and it has a little hatch you can open up and fit his or another Titan Master inside of. Got the little Titan Master peg so they can kind of hang out on him. Right there. And this is him next to Sky Shadow. Aside from the massive color difference, there's no actual difference between these as far as molding goes. They are completely identical. Overlord's jet mode is very sleek looking. Kind of brings to mind like a B-52 bomber or something like that. Alright. Wings bend a little bit, but... Alright, he's got this landing gear here. He has a cockpit that opens up to reveal this Titan Master there. You can pilot it. The nose cone of this can actually come off. It doesn't seem to actually do anything. I believe it may just be removable to make opening of this bottom hatch or the cockpit a little bit easier. Give you more room for your fingers. The underside doesn't, look much like a jet at all. It's just an upper body of a robot. But, you can only expect so much here. Comparing the two jet modes, they're actually radically different from one another. Unlike the tanks. You can see the shapes are nowhere near alike. In fact, the best I can figure out is that the only parts they seem to share are the elbow joint pieces and the shoulder joint pieces that are in there that you can't see right now. But other than that, they seem to be completely unique from one another. Now, both of these figures have the ability for their tank and jet modes to combine, much like Overlord did in the original Master Force cartoon. However, there's a big difference in how they do it and the quality of the execution. So for Sky Shadow, he connects via a nice little clip on the bottom of the plane there. Overlord, however, doesn't really connect very well at all. In fact, he's not actually really even connected right now. He's just sitting on top of him. See here, he doesn't have a clip. Instead, the way he's supposed to connect is his little opening chest panels have these little tabs in them, which plug into these slots right here. The problem is, it is not a strong connection at all. There's really not any friction holding them in there. So under the weight of the jet mode, it just kind of sags and flops down. Doesn't really stay on. In fact, this little combination isn't even called out in Overlord's instructions, though they are in Sky Shadow's, and I suspect that they may have realized the design was kind of not where it needed to be, and they may have actually cut it from the instructions just so people wouldn't be disappointed with it. That's just my theory, though. But yeah, it is disappointing because it's something that Overlord is supposed to be able to do, and while technically they attach, it's just done so poorly that it's not even sustainable. Alright, this is Overlord's Titan Master. He's called Dreadnaut, and he is modeled to look like one of Overlord's old Godmaster figures called Giga. And, fun fact, Sky Shadow's Titan Master Ominous is designed to look like Overlord's other Godmaster figure, Mega. So, pretty cool. You can have the two of them together and, play act that if you're a big man-child like myself. This is Overlord's base mode. It's one of the better looking base modes in the line, I would say. It actually looks like it's, a base. And it bears a very strong resemblance to Overlord's original base mode from the 1980s toy. Got his cannon there as like a weapon emplacement. Plenty of places for Titan Masters to hang out, even up here in the little control tower thing. Here he is next to Sky Shadow. As you can see, despite the fact that these characters are considered mold mates, they do cast a very different silhouette in their base modes, primarily due to the fact that their upper bodies are so very different. It is really neat to see them together, though. Alright, now here he is in all his glory. Overlord has a very large, very intimidating looking robot mode. I definitely look at this and just see it as a direct upgrade to the original figure. He just kind of updated with modern engineering, with better proportions. And, he just looks amazing. The colors just really pop on him. He has all the classic looks down. He's got, like, the little belly guns and stuff. He's got his shield that he can attach to his arm here. And one great thing that he has is the ability to bend back and bear his little ab launcher things that he has in the original cartoon. So that's a really cool little touch. One really great feature that Overlord has is that his little chest panels open up here, and he has these little cavities here that you can fit Titan Masters into. Now, admittedly, it looks a little weird when you have them in there because you just have like faces in the guy's pecs. But where this feature will really shine through is, in the coming months when Power of the Primes comes out and you start getting the Prime Masters, who will also fit in here, but instead of having, face boobs, he'll have, these like power glyphs and stuff representing different primes, so make a lot more sense contextually. You can't close these completely once the Titan Masters are in there, and you can't really put the Titan Masters inside backwards to hide the faces. They stick out way too far and they don't really work too well. So one undocumented feature for this figure is that his little shield thing can actually attach to his chest via a little tab there. Not sure why it worked out that way, why they designed it, because it's pretty obviously intentional. It's neat, so if you want to give him some sort of additional chest armor, you do have that option. And of course I've got to compare him with Sky Shadow one last time, just so you can kind of see how their robot modes compare. These two together look extraordinarily imposing. They really just kind of emanate that raw power that the characters are supposed to convey. They're both excellent takes on the mold. I know Sky Shadow's a bit more of a departure from his classic appearance, being originally he was a pretender. But it's a good way of putting him kind of on the same level as Overlord by making him bigger than his previous toys were. These guys really are great. obviously this review is supposed to be focused on Overlord, who I believe by, a small margin is the better of these two figures. But again, if you see either one, at your local Walmart or whatever, definitely pick them up. And just for fun, let's get all three of the Phase Sixers together so we can marvel at how awesome they are. And also be warned that they are a really tight fit, most of them. So, if you're worried about like scraping paint or, getting stuck in there, might want to maybe just avoid plugging those things in there. All right, so quick recap on this guy. Overall, an amazing figure. They really nailed him with the details, the engineering, paying, homage to the original character, original figure. He's got 4 distinct modes. He's got his robot mode, his base mode, then 2 different vehicle modes. The connected vehicle mode, like I pointed out, is a real miss on this thing. Maybe other copies have a stronger fit, or tighter fit anyway, to where it doesn't just flop right off. If that's the case, definitely, if you have a copy of this and it works better, let me know. I'd love to know. I'd prefer to think it's just my copy rather than a epidemic, widespread problem. So, if you can manage to find one of these, I found mine at a Walmart. I don't know about all Walmarts. I know the ones in the area where I live tend to be pretty early on getting new leader class figures in. But that's it. They're pretty terrible about getting any other new stock in. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this review. I know I really enjoyed doing a review on this guy. I enjoyed really any excuse to play with this thing. So yeah, please feel free to leave comments. Let me know what you think. Till next time.